Think about it. 3 different generations, 3 different lives, 3 different pieces of financial advice, yet the result is almost always the same. The elders said, "Put it in the bank, it's guaranteed." Your parents were told, "Buy a house, you'll be safe." And you're told, "Invest, get into the market, don't fall behind." At the time, all of it made sense. All of it sounded safe. No one thought they were making a mistake on purpose. Your grandparents were genuinely careful people. They didn't waste money. They put it in the bank, set it aside, and thought, "We'll need this someday." The government and the banks were saying the same thing anyway, "This is the right thing to do." But when inflation exploded in the 1970s, they realized something: the money was still there, but its value wasn't. It was quietly melting away. No one came and said, "I took it from you." But they did. What they had saved wasn't really wealth after all, it turned out to be a melting block of ice. Then came your parents' generation. They learned not to trust banks anymore. This time, the message was different: buy a house. Land is valuable. If you own a home, you're safe. And most people did it with good intentions. They worked, went into debt, and paid for years. But a house doesn't make you money as long as you live in it. On the contrary, it costs you money, taxes, maintenance, loans. When the bubble burst in 2008, many people realized this: the debt was still there, but the value of the house was gone. Now it's your turn. You're no longer told to save. In fact, it's the opposite. Keeping money in the bank is stupid. Invest, markets always go up in the long run. Crypto is the future of money, don't be late. And people jump in. Because who wants to be left behind? Some people do win, of course. But most people, just like previous generations, enter the game late. By then, the rules are already written. When crypto crashed in 2022, millions of people woke up one morning to see that half of their money, their wealth, was gone. No one admitted they had been misled. "That's just the market," they said. The frustrating part is this: the system itself never really changes. Only the story told to each generation does. To one, save. To another, buy a house. To you, invest. But the mechanism is always the same. Inflation quietly takes. Bubbles pull people in, then burst. Debt locks people in. When you look at history, this is nothing new. In Rome, the currency was debased. In Weimar Germany, people couldn't even buy bread with their savings. In Greece, retirees had their pensions cut. Every time, the same thing happens: those who trust the system the most suffer the most. But not everyone loses. During the gold rush, the miners went broke, the ones selling shovels got rich. During inflation, those who stayed in cash were crushed, while producers survived. In crises, debt-loaded homes collapsed, while those with cash picked up opportunities. The lesson here is simple, but uncomfortable. The majority does what seems safe. The minority does what actually works. That's why we need to rethink what we call an asset. If it doesn't produce income, a house is just a house. If inflation eats it away, a bank account isn't safety. If it's full of risks you don't understand, an investment fund won't give you peace of mind. Real value lies in businesses that produce things people will always need, assets that keep working during crises, and skills and abilities that no one can take away from you. Yes, this path is boring. It doesn't promise quick riches, but it survives for generations. So the real issue isn't we made the wrong investment. The real issue is failing to realize that the game was never designed for us to win. The moment you realize that, you're already one step ahead because you stopped playing the wrong game. And maybe the most important part of all, if you pass this awareness on to your children, you break the cycle. Otherwise, every generation repeats the same mistake, just wrapped in different packaging. If this gave you that feeling of things finally make sense, you're in the right place. History doesn't teach by shouting. But if you listen, it always whispers the same thing. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to be notified about the next one.